Hello, I'm reading comments. Nice to see everyone here. Happy Friday, guys. Lovely to be here. I've got my camera angled more towards the corner tonight because I've got a big mess going on over there. With all the stuff in the spare room. We've got someone staying tomorrow night and it's all come back in here. So this is the space it goes when there's nowhere else to put the stuff when we have someone coming to stay, and it all ends up in my craft room. And so it's all along that wall, and I just angled the camera this way so you can't see the mess. I know it's there. How is everyone? How are we tonight? Nice to see you, Cherie. Nice to see you, Elizabeth. Hey, Katrina. We've got a whole bunch of people on tonight. Hi, Margaret. All right, I'll get started pretty quickly, but tonight I've got something fun and new to show you, which is cool. I love showing new stuff, and I'll get into that in a minute. Has anyone something exciting or fun to tell us? Only fun and exciting news allowed. Rose, I see you're doing well. That's fun and exciting news. That's awesome news. Well done. I'm glad to hear you're better or feeling better. Hey, hey. You just got here? Well, who's been here the longest? Cherie was here at 6:24. Goodness me. Yeah, Margaret does cheat. She cheats. I know, right? She shows up really, really early. But yes, Cherie was the first to give us a thumbs up. If you like the post by hitting the thumbs up button, that's great. It tells YouTube that this is something people enjoy and it shows it to more people. That's how that algorithm works. So there's a few things you can do to help me spread the love around our live crafting love. You can like the posts either on Facebook or on YouTube. You can make sure you're subscribed. That's a really big one because the more subscribers, the more people that my videos get shown to. So that's awesome. And you also get notifications when I go live. If you're commenting and engaging, that is super important. It helps the algorithm as well, and helps me show up in more people's feeds and that kind of stuff. So please keep chatting, keep talking to each other, and keep commenting because it really does help. And it's lovely to see all those beautiful comments on a Friday night. Makes my night. So lots of things going on here. My son's just finished his second week of his new course, so that's exciting. He's liking it so far. Yay! My daughter is out and about doing all kinds of stuff. She's working in a retail clothing store that she really likes, so that's going well for her. And she has a boyfriend that she was telling me they're 5 months dating today, so it's going good. And my husband's had a little bit of a promotion at work, so that's cool. We like that, and his schedule has completely changed. He's been on nights as long as I've known him. He's always worked nights, and now he's not. He's on days, 4 days a week, 10-hour shifts, which means he gets 3 days off in a row, which is lovely. So yeah, lots and lots of good things happening. So feeling like 2023 is off to a better start. I'm hoping that everyone else is feeling the same way. All right, so shall I show you something new? Shall we do that first? Now I'm actually open to suggestions for our second card tonight. So if there's something you really want to see, post it in the comments, and if I have it, I will show you. I do have something I'd like to show you, but if there's something you specifically want to see, let me know and I will try and accommodate that. Yeah, 2023 is off to a good start, right? Good. All right, I'm going to show you some new stuff. Who wants to see new stuff? Do we like new stuff? So one of the advantages of being a Stampin' Up demonstrator is that you get new product first. Okay, we usually get it about a month before customers. And they're changing the schedule a little bit this year. So what they're planning on doing, oh, good. You do want to see, good. So they're doing a few different things. What they're doing is, from a marketing point of view, it makes a lot of sense. They're making sure that we have something new to go to customers with, to actually, to show customers every second month. Now, 3 of those, so that means 6 times a year, we have something brand new to show. But 3 times a year, that's a new catalogue. So in January, we have a new catalogue. We have it's down here on the floor, the new mini catalogue, this one. that came out this last month, January, and that was something new to go to customers with, and celebration, of course, as well. Then in March, we have something, then in May, there'll also be a new catalogue. And in, there's a king parrot outside in my tree outside. I love king parrots. Does everyone know what I mean by king parrot? They're the red and green ones. They're beautiful. Love them. Well, there's one in the tree outside. Just up there, Emma. I can see the red. She's trying to see. Can you see him? He's up in... Oh.
Yes, I can.
You can? Good.
Is it a male?
I can't tell from here if it's a male or a female. He's very pretty. He or she. All right. Sorry. I get excited when I see parrots in the trees outside. New stuff is great because it gives us new energy and new directions to move in. In May, there'll be a new catalogue in, what is it? May, August, I think, is when the mini catalogue comes out for the last half of the year. So that's August, September, October, November. Actually, it might even be September. But anyway, it's later in the year when we get our holiday mini with all the Christmas stuff in it. But in March, we have what they're calling an online exclusive. So there'll be 3 of these online exclusives and 3 releases of new catalogues. And the online exclusive means it's not in a catalogue. Okay, it's going to be a release of new product that will just be in the online store, or I'll have flyers and I'll certainly show you. You can order it through a demonstrator or you can order it online. But it's brand new stuff that's not in a catalogue anywhere. Now, that doesn't mean to say it might not go into a catalogue later. It might. But the whole point of it is that some of it will be just limited time only and some of it might stick around a bit longer. But the good thing about having something that's just online is means the company can change direction quickly. They get more flexibility with the product. They're not tied to what's in the catalogue and having to do exactly what's in the catalogue for a set period of time. They can release a product and then, finish it up or continue it on. They can decide, what the market wants. If it's doing really, really well, maybe they'll keep it going. So we have one of those online exclusives coming out on the 1st of March for customers, which means demonstrators like myself could order it on the 1st of February, the month before. And that's always the case. Nearly always we can order the stuff the month before customers. And why would I show you now? Because it arrived in my delivery box today. Okay, I only ordered it on Wednesday morning and it was here today. So that's really fast. I wasn't expecting it until next week. But the cool thing is that if you decide that you're joining Stampin' Up this month, and as some of you would know, we've got a fantastic joining special right now. Okay, if you're interested, sing out, ask me more. Happy to answer any questions that you have either here on the live or by private message or whatever you like. But the cool thing is that you can order these new things, which are only available to demonstrators, in your kit if you wish. Okay, so that means I'm showing you now because I know there's a few people out there thinking about joining with the great special right now, and you can order things that are not yet available to customers. If you're already a demonstrator, you can go ahead and order it, but if you're a customer, you can get it as part of a demonstrator kit. So that's why I'm showing you now. Okay, so let me get I'm just going to bring my camera around. And with my light, let's see if I can get that nice on the table. And let's switch over to the desk. Oh, a little bit crooked. Nearly, not quite. There we go. All right, so let me show you what's new. We have a new suite coming. And I believe, well, the bundle anyway is called Irresistible Blooms. I'm thinking the suite is not called that, but I will check that for you. I need to check the name of the suite. Somebody might know. I'll keep an eye on the comments in case somebody already knows. But the stamp set's called Irresistible Blooms. It's a really pretty little set. And then it has matching dies called Irresistible Blooms. As you know, they're matching up the names these days. So much easier. So much easier. How are you, Valerie? Nice to see you all the way from over there in Canada, isn't it? I believe so. So we have some really, this is a really interesting die, actually. I was looking at this when I saw some samples, and it cuts these sort of shapes, but it actually makes a hole in the paper. Like the outside bit here doesn't cut. So it cuts a hole in the middle of your paper that's got this beautiful shape with this like little bubbles around it. So I will show you that. That might be fun to show you how that works. And then we've got some dies that match up with the stamps and the flowers and the leaves. We've got a splotch. You guys know how much I love a splotchy stamp. Splotchy stamps are the best. This week I was using the Quiet Meadows set at a scrapbooking class to add some splotches behind our pictures. And now I've got a new set with a splotch. So I can't wait to use a little splotch. That's cool. Really nice one. And then it's got some really nice greetings. And how nice is this font? Isn't that lovely? British Columbia. Yes, up near Whistler. I remember. Yes, I'll talk about that in a second, Kelly. Absolutely right. Yep, you got to have dottage. That's what we'll call it, dottage. Splotch, splodge, dottage, all of the same things. So it's got some really nice little sentiments. We've got a thank you and I like you. I couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. Hello and hooray, it's your day. This would be good for a birthday card. I would use that for a birthday card. So yeah. And there's some cute little standalone leaves and then some bits that actually cut out. And I haven't even put this stamp set together yet. I have used, you can see I've used the thank you. See that? I only got it this morning, and of course the first thing I did was use it straight away. But you should be able to see that this is where the stickers are. These match up. So these are going to match up with these. So yeah, they're really, really nice. Really like them. But that's not all. Of course not. All right. So we have some cute little, these are called the loose frosted dots. Hey Heather, hello from Canada. And then we've also, these are really, can you see? I don't know if you can see, they're really shiny and sparkly. They're really nice. They're like little resin bubbles or dots. Really, really pretty. And I don't know if you can see what colors are in there. Can anyone see some interesting colors? Some colors that might look familiar and some colors you might not have seen for a while. And that's going to lead us into an interesting part of our conversation next. All right, so then there is also some 6x6 DSP. And as you can see, I've already started chopping it up. It is beautiful. Look at this. So it's just printed. So you've got like white flowers on a beautiful kind of a watercolor background. Yes, you are correct, Cindy. It does look like Pretty Peacock because it is Pretty Peacock. So that should tell you something. Let's talk about that in a second. And on the back, just the watercolor without the flowers. So pretty. Then we've got like a crosshatch kind of a design there. And on the back, some more watercolory. That could be clouds, couldn't it? Doesn't it look kind of like a stormy sky? Yeah. And some little bubbly bits, which actually look like this die. See this die here? That kind of does this same design here. And on the back, we've got the watercolor background of that. We've got some beautiful leaves here. So even if you're not into flowers there's a lot of leaves and watercolory designs. Really, really pretty. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Now, this paper is lovely. It's got, let's see, the colors that are in this are like Flirty Flamingo. Let me find, I'll get down to the bottom, and the piece of paper down the bottom should tell us. But what I love about this, and you guys know I love it when this happens. Look. So we have dies that cut out flowers on here. And then we've got a different flower here. And what I missed when I was talking to Susan and I were talking about this morning. Look, we've even got, little tiny weeny leaves that cut out these little those little leaves. Aren't those cute? So you can get quite a lot out of these. Yeah, it is stunning. It's really beautiful. So the dies will cut out the paper as well as, and not every sheet, of course. It's just some sheets. So there's a couple of sheets that have this design on them, and I'll get to the other one in a minute. But yeah, so you can see the beautiful colors that are in these. Aren't they lovely? They're so nice. So I'm pretty happy with what we're getting here. More leaves. We're going to get down this one. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. That's just beautiful. Isn't that lovely? It could be an under the sea kind of a thing. In fact, there's another one I'll show you in a minute that is on a Pretty Peacock background, and it looks like it could definitely be under the sea. And that's nice on the back there. Look at that. I know, it's very nice. I'm excited for it to come out for customers. So that'll be the 1st of March for anyone who is interested in waiting for the 1st of March. Yeah, this is something. Now, this is the one I think could be a seascape. See, there's your Pretty Peacock and a bit of Lost Lagoon. Who remembers Lost Lagoon? That's a few years ago. It's a blast from the past, but we've got Lost Lagoon back as well. So there are 2 returning colours in this pack. Shall we talk about that? I'm just going to go through. There's another one, different colours in the background. This is more of yellow, less pink, and that one also cuts out with the dies. All right, and that one's got a little like diagonal check pattern on the back. But it's yummy. It's really yummy paper. So we should have a lot of fun with this. I can see lots and lots of these gorgeous colours. There's my paperback piece, and this is the one that I love the best straight away, and I've already made a card with it because I had to. You know, it was calling my name, and I'll show it to you in a minute. Now, so in the back, always on the back of your paper is the little blurb about, you know, what the paper is, what it's called, and what colors are in it. So you can go and match them up to your cardstock and your ink. So everything matches. And that is the big thing with Stampin' Up. If you haven't been around Stampin' Up very much, that is the big thing that separates Stampin' Up from every other company that's out there. And that is the coordination aspect. So you've got inks that perfectly match cardstock, that perfectly match papers. The colors are in the papers, and all the embellishments and the ribbons, everything is made to match. So you haven't got to go looking for colors that are going to work together because it's all been done for you. Sure, you can get creative and choose coordinating colors, like as far as, you know, complementary colors, I should say. But the whole point is that if you need a particular color, you can get it in all kinds of products across the board, and that is what the standout thing about Stampin' is. And that was the first thing that attracted me to Stampin' Up. That's why I joined them, because I love that whole coordination aspect. Everything matches. I mean, okay, too much information, TMI, but you're talking to someone who has to match their underwear. You know, the bras and knickers have got to match. Got to match. Okay, you can't wear mismatched stuff. Sorry, that's how particular I am about matching. Everything's got to match. So I just thought it was worth saying. But Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Lost Lagoon, Petal Pink, Pretty Peacock, and Soft Sea Foam. There's your colours, okay? Louise is saying she's new to Stampin' Up, and that's what drew her to it as well. Yeah, everything matches, and it makes crafting very, very easy. Exactly right. Exactly right. Okay, let me have a little look. Yes, very useful, even if you don't love the colors. But, you know, I take that as a personal challenge. You know that, Cherie. I'm going to have to make you love it, because I think it's going to be gorgeous. Now, that's the suite as it comes with the gems, the stamps, the I'm trying to remember. I think I paid for $130, I think, for the stamps, the dies, the gems, and the paper. So that was everything. That's how much. And then I got a free celebration item because I bought it this month. You guys won't be able to do that because you won't be buying it until next month. But there's lots of other things to get your celebration freebies on. So now there is some other things coming out as part of the same release, but I didn't buy everything. So there's an alphabet set, stamp set that is coming, and I did not buy that yet. And there's some embossing folders. I am going to get them. I just haven't got them yet. But I did get this paper. It's called Naturally Gilded 12 by 12 paper, and it is beautiful. So this is part of the release as well. It's not part of the suite, but it is part of the release. All right, so we've got like a vanilla. Yes, I do, Jody. Look. See, I was one step ahead of you. I've already got it out. So we've got the gold sprigs, I guess you would call them, on a vanilla background. And it is really, really beautiful. Okay, it is single-sided, but just so you get 2 sheets of each colorway. So one is gold. Then we've got silver. This one looks like it's looking through some young trees or something. That's really lovely as well. So there's your silver, 2 sheets of that. That would be my guess, Susan. I don't know. We've been told that we will find out more details in March, 1st of March, I think. So we'll know more about the colours then. But we are due for what they call a colour refresh. And when I say due, they've told us over the years that we can expect to see a an overhaul of the colours about every 5 years. And it's 5 years since the last one. So that's what makes me think it's very likely. And the fact that they are putting some of those retired colors into DSP tells me that they are planning on bringing those colors back. Now, do I know this for certain? No, I don't. It's my best guess. But I think it's I think it would be a fairly safe guess because yeah, they wouldn't put them in the paper if they weren't going to be current colors, if you weren't being able to get them. So that's the answer to the question, Susan. I have nothing official to go on, but I do know that when we have colors in the DSP that's coming out, that means those colors should be following. Okay, so I sold my Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon ink pads. Just means I have to buy them again, no biggie. And I certainly will do that. And usually, I know in the past, I don't know if they will do it this time, but they will usually offer a special deal to demonstrators to get their hands on the new colors. So they'll make it easy for us. So that's my best guess. It's all speculation, but I would say I'm fairly confident that that would be how it's going to go. All right. I don't know if you can see this one. This one is copper. Can you see? It's harder to see this one, whereas these two are very clearly silver and gold. This one, the copper, is a little trickier to see. Maybe if I put it against a black, you would see it better. No, not really, but it's beautiful. I love copper. I have a big thing for copper, so some of you would know that. So you're definitely going to see me using these. I have a plan to use them together, which I thought might be nice. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But they are gorgeous, and that is the gilded 12 by 12 paper. Okay, so you can look forward. This is some of what's coming in the new release on the 1st of March. If you are thinking about joining, you are welcome to add any of these things to your demonstrator kit. And right now, the demonstrator kit, there's 3 options to join. $169, this is Australian prices. $169 will get you $315 worth of product. Now, normally it gets you $235 worth of product, but right now until the end of February, it will get you $315, and that's a special deal. Then there's a second option. If you like it, you can spend $210 instead, so a bit more, and you will get a mini Stampin' and cut and emboss machine. Sorry, a mini cut and emboss machine and $315 worth of product. You'll get both. Okay. Then the third option, and the third option is my little friend here. So this is the blue mini cut and emboss machine. So same price, $210. You get the blue mini machine, and you'll also get the $315 worth of products. So if you've ever thought about joining and you think this would be a great way to go, because it means that you get a discount on all your products as long as you're a demonstrator. So that's why most people join. Most people join for the discount. But then there's a few weirdos like me who join because they thought they'd like to earn a little bit of extra money on the side. That was always, for me, it was my plan was I had a scrapbooking habit. I loved to scrapbook, especially when my kids were little. And it was a sizable kind of a habit that I had. And I felt really guilty every time I went to the scrapbooking store. I loved going to the scrapbooking store, but I felt guilty that I was using money that we needed, in our family, and I shouldn't be spending it. So I thought, when I saw Stampin' Up, I thought there maybe is a way that could support my scrapbooking habit. That was my thinking, and it has done that and so much more. It has my money that I earn from Stampin' Up is what we use for our groceries, and it literally puts food on the table. That's what it does. It puts food on the table for us. So that's a pretty big deal. And yeah. Anyway, if you love this machine, that's what's available right now. But once February is over, that machine will no longer be available. Okay, it'll be gone. There you go. Thank you, Jamie. So I hope that everybody is enjoying seeing those new things. Let me just find my little... So I made a card with it today. Oh, I haven't quite finished. I haven't put it on a base. But this is a card I made today, just a simple one. Okay, so that's that beautiful Pretty Peacock. I had to use it because it's such a beautiful color. Pretty Peacock paper. And I used the little diagonal check design over on this side. And I embossed in silver the thank you on some black cardstock, cut it out some the something fancy labels. And the only thing I haven't done, and I really need to do it, is I haven't put it on a background, which on a card base, which I should do. Let me just do that really quickly. So this is a new thing, right? So I'm just going to use my Tombow multi-purpose. How are you liking your Tombow multi-purpose, Jamie? You liking it? It's good glue and easy to use. This one's right down the bottom. I tend to go through these very, very quickly because I use them all the time. But I also use seal adhesive as well, which is the runner. So that one also is good. But I find this one is great for putting things on card bases because you can get them straight. There we go. So there you go. That's, yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. That's so good. Yeah, it is easy to use. Exactly. All right. So there we go. That's what I wanted to show you first. I'm thinking maybe I did say I would show you how this works, and I'm sort of tempted. Okay, let me thinking about what colors we'll use. I'm deciding I'm going to have so many pretty colors in here. I'm wondering, are there any neutrals in this paper? Was there any? Not really. Petal pink would be nice. And soft sea foam is the very light green, the really, really light green. So I think I'm gonna start with petal pink. I'm getting a bit low on petal pink. I might have to buy some more, I think. I've got Blushing Bride, I've got plenty of that, and I've got plenty of the, okay, so can you see the color difference? This is petal pink and this is Blushing Bride. There's quite a big difference. This is definitely a more apricot-y color, and I have always called Blushing Bride pink with personality because it actually almost looks like a slightly dirty pink, which I know some people don't like. I do rather like it, and I think it looks really good with white. I mean, really, really nice with white. But it has got a bit of a, yeah, like, I don't like the word dirty undertone, but I wonder if you know what I mean. But the petal pink, you can see this goes really nicely on here. So I'm thinking that might be a good base for us to start with. So let me grab my trimmer. Yeah, well, I thought I might do that first, and then let's see how we go. I've spent a bit of time talking about that. Okay, while I'm cutting this up, there is something I start talking about, and it's very timely. This time every year I start talking about a particular thing. Do you know what it is? So I'm going to put this here. You see that? And I'm going to have to use my big machine because my piece of paper is a little bit too wide for my mini. So I'm going to bring my big one in. The big one is my workhorse. I will never get rid of the big one. I'm going to zoom out just so that you guys can see what I'm doing. And you'll probably see more of my messy desk, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. I don't know if anyone follows Christina Werner. Does anyone follow Christina? She's a really, really clever designer and card maker over in the US. Has beautiful, beautiful work. Hands up who's seen Christina's work. Christina with a K if you're looking for her. Absolutely beautiful stuff. And I'm just going to get rid of that one. Sorry. Just leaving that one go. All right. The paper is new, Dolores. It's called Irresistible. Hello Irresistible. It's 6x6 paper, and it's going to be coming out to customers on the 1st of March, but I'm showing it today because some of the girls who are thinking about joining might want to add it to their kit, because you can. So that's why I'm talking about it now. All right, so I'm going to just run this through, and I want to show you what it does. It's a really nice die. So it's going to make a window, but it's not just going to make a plain old boring window. Oh no. So can you see this? See how the pieces just fall out? Look at this. Isn't this lovely? So this is really special and a little bit different. Isn't that nice? I just thought that was really, really pretty. I'll just move this out of the way. So I'm deciding what to do. Whether, do you know, I was thinking I could, look, I'll just go with it as it is. It's going to end up on a piece of white, so it's going to be going on here. But I'm thinking I'm going to put a piece of paper underneath. That would be rather nice. This would be nice. What do we think? Do we like the look of this? So that's, you've got a bit of the pink and a bit of yellow poking through, or we could have the flowers coming through. Oh, that's rather nice. Isn't that nice? I like that idea. So these colors work obviously really well with this. It is stunning, I know, right? This is lovely. So we have a number of choices. I think I'm leaning towards this one. I think that's really pretty, and I'm thinking I will go with that. I'm obviously already noticing I'm going to need more of this paper, but hey, that's okay. All right, so this is 10 centimeters wide, and I made it 14.3 long, which means it perfectly fits on my card base. That's the size I need. So I'm actually going to measure this. Just deciding. I'd like to have this a little bit shorter, because I want my flowers to be more up towards the top. And I'm going to measure this, not quite. I'm going to go maybe 2 millimeters less than the 10 centimeters long. It won't be. So what this is going to do is, when I put this inside, I can position this so it's behind here. Does that make sense? So I'm going to, and I could do that, actually, I could do that on dimensionals, because then I'm going to get a bit of a shadow. So that would be rather nice. So let me put some dimensionals behind here. I've got a brand new packet, a brand new page of dimensionals. So here we go. I love dimensionals. I use them all the time on all kinds of things. Can't help myself. They're fabulous. So I am going to add quite a few, but that's okay. And I'm going to make sure I'm adding them at all the places where it might sag. We don't want it to sag, so I'm going to put another one sort of here. And because there's a bit of a gap here and here, I'm going to grab my mini dimensionals and use a couple up there, because that's going to fit better. And then that one can go there. This one can go here. All right, I know that's a lot, but I want it to get, yeah, the die is beautiful. The die is lovely. So I'm going to position this over the top of those flowers. And then we're going to put the whole thing onto our card front. So it's actually a very simple card, but it looks really complicated or convoluted maybe. I'm just going to make sure that that's where I want it to be. Yep, it is. And I'm going to put this a little bit down from the top. There we go, just like that. And then this whole thing is going to end up on my card front. And I'm going to fold this in half. And we'll use our bone folder just to... So I'm going to also, before I continue on, I feel that I need, you can use a sponge or you can use a dauber, whatever you happen to have. Actually, which one will I use? Maybe I'll use a dauber. I've got a brand new dauber somewhere, but that one's had a bit of pale papaya on it, but close enough. to open up my petal pink. And I'm going to zip around the edges because and you know what, if I wanted to, I could go a little darker. You could go with a bit of coral, and that would also tone in with this color as well. But we do need a bit of sponging around the edges. Oh, I need to zoom back in. Sorry, guys. That's better. That's better. All right, so I'm just going to I think this petal pink might need a bit of a re-ink. I think I have some. I took the re-inkers to my class yesterday. I don't know if it's still in my bag or if it's back in the shelf. I think it might still be in the bag. So I started to say, what is the thing? I want you to guess. If someone has already guessed and I missed it, I am so sorry. But yes, pre-order. That's correct, Susan. But what do I, every year at this time of the year, start talking about? And it's very important. And I'm deadly serious. Everyone thinks I'm joking every year. And I am not. I am not joking. What is it? Anyone want to guess? Must sleep, must sleep. Yeah, we all need to do a bit more of that, don't we? I had a nap this afternoon. I was exhausted. I think it's the weather. It's been quite warm here, pretty hot. Okay, that does look better. All right, so because I'm keeping this pretty simple, I'm thinking that we need a banner or something going across the bottom here, and I'm deciding whether I just literally cut a piece of paper because this is going to end up on here. It's very simple, isn't it? And let me find a piece of, I think, I've got a piece of basic white, and I'm thinking I might just go straight across the bottom. So this is going to be, this is going to be 10 centimeters wide, which is the same width as my petal pink cardstock. All right. And I'm thinking I couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. That's really pretty, isn't it? Isn't that nice? So it's this one. And it's a nice long shape as well. So there we go. Just pop that down. Now, because I'm going to go with Flirty Flamingo. There is a darker pink here, or I could go, it says Daffodil Delight. It looks more like So Saffron to me, but I also have my splodge and, oh, sorry, what did we call it earlier? Dottage. Thank you. I like that term. That's cool. All right, so I'm going to add a couple of these stamps, pop them on a block together. So I'm doing it the way I normally do it, and it doesn't take very long to do, and it's my favorite way to put the stamps together. And if you've been watching for a while, you've seen me do this a whole bunch of times, but it's still good. And block D is really the block size that I need for this. My chair's squeaky tonight. I'm sorry. Does anyone guess what the thing is that I say? You're serious about chocolate? Yes, reminders. Cindy got it, and Jenny got it, and Michelle got it. Exactly. Go and look at your inks, okay? And what you need to do is you need to make sure that you have re-inkers for all your colors, especially if you have in colors. Very, very important. Because guess what the first thing is to sell out when the retired list comes out? I am not even kidding a little bit. And every single year I have somebody who says to me, oh, can you get me that re-inker the day after the thing sells out? And I have to say, I am so sorry, you can no longer buy those. And every year someone gets disappointed. And don't let that be you. Right, so what I'm doing is I am positioning this from the back over my, and that stamp is now together. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. See, this is the Quiet Meadow splotch that I was using at class yesterday. Take that one off, and now we've got a new one. That's exciting. All right, one more stamp to do. So yeah, check, please check that you have your re-inkers for your inks, because if you have one or even two re-inkers, they are going to last you for years to come. Okay, that's how you get maximum, especially if it's a retiring color like the ink colors that retire every 2 years. You definitely want to make sure you have your, and get them now. Don't wait until they announce the retired list, because if you wait, then they're going to sell out. I promise you. They always do. Every single time they sell out. All right, so I'm going to use my Flirty Flamingo, which is a darker pink. I'm going to just do it first on my scrap paper and make sure it's not too dark. It shouldn't be. Oh no, that's exactly right. So Flirty Flamingo is a brighter, darker pink, but it still has a little bit of an apricot-y kind of a tone about it. And I'm going to try and get it straight by lining this piece of paper up on my grid paper here, and that just helps me keep everything straight. I couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. It's nice. It's a really nice sentiment. There we go. You see that? All right. And so it's brighter, but it still tones in quite nicely with the peachy kind of a tone. And I've got a tiny bit of an overstamp on that one, but that's okay. I'm also going to use that same color to add some dots to this. I should have done it before I added my dimensionals, but hey, I didn't. So we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to go ahead and do it. So I'm just going to pop a few dots here. And maybe even a little up in the corner here. Just a bit. There we go. Whoops. So yes. Anyone ever got, hey Ellen, nice to see you. I hope your live went well earlier. I didn't actually see you live, but I did know you. I saw the announcement that you were going live. All right, so I'm going to put that on here. I was just explaining to the girls, Ellen, that the reason I'm showing this, even though no one can buy it yet, is because new demonstrators can get it in their kits. So that's worth knowing in case they want to do that. So, all right, so I've got my piece. It's a little bit under an inch wide, or not a couple of centimeters, and I'm deciding whether I want to have that just there like that, or whether I'd like a second piece under it. Maybe I could try in Flirty Flamingo. Let me see how that would look. Let me see. Would it be too bright? I always think the cardstock looks a lot brighter. You know what? I don't mind it. I think that's nice. So let's cut that to the right width. And this piece is, let's be precise, so it's 1/16 of an inch, less than 1 inch. So it's almost, so it's 2.3 centimeters wide. So I'm going to make it 3 centimeters wide, which is 1 3/16 of an inch if you're doing it in inches. Right, and then that's just going to give me like a little border on either side, which I think looks nice. So let's pop some of that on with our Tombow. And for some, if some of you might not know that Tombow has 2 ends. Did you know that? So you've got your skinny end, okay, which is the one I most commonly use. But if I was doing a really big area, you've got the other end and it comes out and you can smush it around with this rubber tip. So it has 2 ends. It's double-ended depending on how you're applying it and what you're applying it to. So that's good to know. And it's inexpensive glue. It's $7 in Australia for a thing of Tombow. I have heard tell that it is more expensive in certain craft stores that will remain nameless. I've been told it's actually cheaper from us, so that's good to know. There we go. This is looking nice. I'm actually going to, I could put this on dimensionals, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to Tombow it on. If you go looking for Tombow and you do a search by name, because if you don't have the number for a product, you can just search for the name of it in the online store. Don't search for Tombow. It won't come up. It's called multi-purpose liquid glue. Or just put in the word multi and it will come up. All right, so this is how this is looking. And then I'm going to go and use those gorgeous little dots. Where are they? What did I do with them? Did I move the dots? Hang on. I put them to one side. Of course I did. And they're hiding. They're hiding somewhere. And I don't know where I put them. Because I've got a mammoth mess of stuff here on my desk, and so they're under something. But that's okay. That is completely okay. Because I will find them later when I'm not looking for them. Because that's how that works, right? All right. Because I thought some of those little cloudy dots would look, I think they're called loose dots. I did tell you before what they're called. This is the die that I just used to make this window. Isn't it nice? I think it's really lovely. So it cuts a window, not actually, it doesn't cut this shape. It cuts the window out of a larger piece. So, but it's very, very pretty. And I'm going to put, as soon as I find them, I'm going to put some of those little loose dies, little loose gems on, because I think that's what it needs, Jody, doesn't it? It needs bling. I know, right? Oh, you search for glue. That's a good idea. Yeah, if you search for glue, then all your different glues come up if they've got the word glue in the name, right? $10 in a different shop, Jody. Right, there you go. I heard 11, so it might depend on where you go. So I know ours is only 7, so that makes it a good buy. All right, let's put these away. And there you go. New stuff to play with. If you haven't ordered them yet and you're a demonstrator, you might want to think about them because they are really lovely. I think they're gorgeous. Very, very happy with this new selection. And Ellen, I think you got yours too, didn't you? I think I saw that in your picture. Really, really nice. Oh, guess what? Guess what I found? Susan Campfield on her video says found it, and then everybody has to take a drink. That seems to work well for her. So I've got some little, look, these are cute. Aren't these cute? So we've got some little gems. Let me get my take your pick tool, because that's the easiest way. It's got the putty end, so you can just pick things up by touching it with the putty end and it picks it up. Really, really handy for these kind of gems that are not adhesive backed. And how do you add adhesive? You can either pick them up like that and then put some like a glue dot on them, or you can also just put, while it's sitting on the end right there, you can add a little dot of Tombow or multi-purpose glue. And of course, is it coming out? I don't know. Let me find one that is a bit more reliable than that one. This one feels reliable. It feels new. I like that. Yep, much better. All right, so I'm going to put one right there. Oh, they're pretty. Aren't they pretty? Let's see. I might do. Well, this little one just jumped on, so it must want to be on this card. So I'm going to throw that on there somewhere. And because my eyesight is so terribly bad, can't wait to get my eyes tested next week, Miss Ellen. And get new glasses because I've lost mine, and the ones that I'm wearing currently are wrong Tombow. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. So I am struggling to see. So who knows if this is a pretty card or not, really, because I can't see it very well. So I hope that you guys can maybe see it better than I can. And I'm just picking out pink ones. so that they will go nicely with my little card theme here. There we go. All right, I'm going to call that done for now. I might add more gems. I don't know. They're so pretty. It makes me want to use more of them, but they're very nice. What do we think? Do we like the card? What do you think of this die? Isn't it pretty? You could make it into a shaker card very, very easily. And I have plans for that, actually. So these would also be kind of nice as shakers, wouldn't they? But I kind of like them as they are. Little sequins are nice for shakers. So there you go. Oops, I think I didn't quite put that on straight. Oh, that's because I haven't put it on at all yet. It's stuck down the bottom to those exposed dimensionals, but I actually haven't yet attached it. Goodness me. Told you my eyesight's bad. Let's pop that on. Do a better job this time. Well, that would have been a disaster. A card that wasn't even attached. Can you see why Tombo's good? Because you can kind of move it into position. There we go. Now it's attached. And I'm very happy with it. It's very pretty. Something different. And so, and then now I have 2 cards made with this new suite. And I like them both. This one has the embossing on the black, which is very dramatic. But I do like this soft one as well. So there we go. Thank you. Yeah, I really like it. It's fun. All right. Now, I may have missed comments. Is the flower a single-step stamp set or 2-step? I believe it's single. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, it's just single, and there's 2 different flowers. So you could colour them in, like you colour them with blends or, you know, any colouring tool, really. I mean, watercolour pencils would be nice. To watercolour them would be lovely. So, yeah, they're not 2-step. They're simple stamps. Yep, thank you. Oh, I know. They're lovely, Jamie. They're just gorgeous. All right. Okay, let's move everything out of the way. And look at that beautiful piece that's left over. Oh, I've got plans for this paper. It's getting me very, very happy. Makes me want to create. And we love that. All right. So I was going to use a particular stamp set for my second card, but you've seen a lot with it. But mostly you've been seeing a lot with it with the paper. Okay, I've been using the paper and cutting it out with the matching dies. But this time I thought I would do I would do this on a and color it. I did think about embossing it because that would be really nice, and I'm still tempted to do that. So let's have a little look. I mean, it does really look nice. Let me just show you how nice this is if you're doing tone on tone. So actually, I'll show you what I mean on here. So this is Flirty Flamingo. And if you're doing tone on tone, I did this over the corner of my scrapbook page yesterday at my class, and it looks so beautiful. And we just had it like over the corners, and you can see it's just really lovely. It looks like someone's drawn or sketched over the corners, and it's very, very beautiful. So you actually can have a lot of fun with this just stamping it. But I thought we might emboss it today. There you go. How beautiful is that? Simple, but it's a nice look. I might have to do something with that. But the color I decided I want to go with right now, and this is I've done this technique a lot of times, but I haven't done it with this stamp set, and I haven't done it for a while. So we're going to use crumb cake, and we're going to emboss on our crumb cake. So I'm going to get my heat tool going in a second, but I've got a piece here of just crumb cake cardstock. Now, did I miss anybody asking for anything? 3 tonight? No, just the 2. I didn't make this one on live. I actually had this one already made. This is the only one I've made so far. So this one was just a sample that I showed. So this is the second card that we're making. But I can stop if you would like. I mean, if you guys are all carded out and don't want to see any more, then we can stop now. And I could do this on Sunday instead. What do you think? Do we have any feelings on this matter? So what I'm just doing is I'm grabbing my gold embossing powder. I've got silver, but I'm thinking gold will be the right colour for this. Okay. Keep stamping, says Glenda. More the merrier, says Jody. Cindy says keep going. Please show more, says Jamie. Okay, all good, keep going. Okay, all right. So, all right, you guys have bullied me into it, but I'm going to do it. And as you can tell, it's such an imposition for me to have to keep going. You know I don't mind, right? So I'm just going to clean off my stamp because I just stamped it with Floody Flamingo and I don't want to put that into my Versamark pad because I'm going to use, I can use white or Versamark. Any craft or pigment ink can be used for embossing. And we're just going to clean that off so it doesn't have any of the pink on it. All right, so now I have my piece of cardstock here and I'm going to bring in my embossing buddy. This is available in our embossing editions kit, which is still available for anyone who's wondering. It was in the mini catalogue from Christmas, but it has carried over and you can still buy it. So the embossing buddy is in that. You haven't missed it if you were worried about that. And I'm going to use my Versamark, which is a clear sticky ink, and I'm going to ink up this beautiful stamp. I'm just going to make sure I get it all over. I don't want to press too hard because I don't want to get ink on these outer bits around the edges because then you end up stamping those as well. And it's really easy to do. I can see I might have got a little bit on the edges here. All right, so I'm going to, it doesn't matter which way this goes, but I think I like it with these little buds sort of facing in towards the area, towards the middle. I'm just going to make sure I get a really good image there. Right, now you can't see anything much. You can very faintly see it, but don't worry, it will, I promise you, we'll be able to see it all in a minute. I'm going to do the other side as well. Luckily, Versamark does not dry super fast, and that's the whole point. It's sticky, and it stays that way for quite a while, so you don't have to rush. I'm not even inking up the whole thing because I'm only going to go over the very edges. Yep. I'm going to do the opposite corner. All right. So now I'm going to pop this here in my little tray, which is part of that editions embossing editions kit. And I'm going to grab my gold embossing powder. Gold and crumb cake, this color, look fabulous together. They look so good. I'm going to pick it up just from the corner and I'm going to dump my gold all over. Don't worry if you use it all because I'm going to tap that off. Make sure I'm getting good coverage. And you can see how this is looking. Now there's a little bit, I missed a little bit at the top there. I can see that. So you can, you can either pick it up again and pop it over that bit. That's better. Now I've got it. There's a few different ways you can do that. If possible, keep a brush handy. There is a brush that comes with the kit. I'm just using the one I keep here right by my desk at the moment. And get rid of any stray bits of powder. That's great. And then we're going to do the other end. Okay, now I can, because I've got quite a bit in the tub here, I can put this in and dump it over. Or you could put it, take the plug out and pour it back into the tub and do that. I'm just going to dump it. All right, now this time I've got a little bit of static, and that's actually from where I was holding it. The oils from your fingers actually transfer to the paper and the powder sticks to that. So just be careful when you're holding it that you are, try and hold it around the edges and be very careful. You don't want to end up with lots of extra powder that is stray and is going to cause a problem. So I'm just getting rid of any stray bits that I can see. Well, as good as my eyes are right now, but we're doing our best. All right, pretty happy with that. That's looking nice. Right, so what do we do with the rest of this? We take the plug off and tap it back in. So this just stops you getting your desk in a mess, basically. I mean, you don't need to have one of these. I've been embossing for years without one, but it does definitely cut down on the mess on your desk. All right, so if that's something that bothers you, bits of powder everywhere, you may find this is a really useful thing. I don't know if Judy's watching tonight, but Judy tells me it's one of the best things she ever bought. She loves it. And so it has the tweezers, the brush, not this brush, a different brush, a nicer brush than mine, the embossing buddy, and the tray. That's all the bits and pieces it has in there. Just going to put my lid on this so that it doesn't end up everywhere. And now I'm going to grab my tweezers. The other thing I love about the tweezers in this kit is that it has, they're what we call reverse tweezers. So it comes like a, you know, and you can see I've just got it here. Reverse tweezers that when you squeeze them together, they come apart at the top. And I really like them. So I'm going to hold this to protect myself. I do not want to burn my fingers. And believe me, with a heat tool, you can burn your fingers. So please be careful. You want to keep the heat away from any part of your body. I do know, I have a friend, a Stampin' demonstrator friend who many years ago, she actually gave herself 3rd-degree burns with a heat tool. It was nasty. All right. Well, if you're buying a heat tool, you can use other things. Like some people use a toaster, but I have to say it is so much easier. It's definitely, if you're going to be doing a lot of embossing, get yourself one of these. We sell them for $50 or 50, might be 52 or something. I'll double check the price, but yeah, they're a fantastic investment. Try and find one that has the plastic protector on the end, because it's the metal bit inside that gets super hot. So that does give you some protection. And also this little stand here, you put that down when you're done, so that it sits up. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it sits up on an angle so that the hot air can escape out of it, and it prolongs the life of your tool. So, so there you go. That's everything I can tell you right now about heat tools. All right, let's go. It's going to make a noise. You can, with cardstock, go straight to the highest setting. You don't need to go on the low setting. And it does take a moment, though, for the heat tool to heat up. I like to keep it moving most of the time I'm working with it, because then I'm less likely, if I keep it in one place too long, you do have the chance of burning your paper, but you do have to hold it pretty still for a long time to do that. All right, it's starting to change now. You might be able to see it start to, the gold is changing. So as this goes, we have 2 packs of embossing powders available. There's a basics. The basics pack has white, clear, and black in it. And then the metallics pack has silver, gold, and copper. And they're all lovely. All right, so I think I've got all that. So what you want to do is turn it in the light, so you can see if you've missed any bits. And you'll know if you've missed any, because you might be able to see the difference between the one we haven't done yet, this corner, and the one we have done. This one is all shiny. Can you see the, oh, it's hard to tell in the light, but you can kind of see it. It's a shiny gold now. It's really pretty, okay? The other one, there's no shine because it's just the powder sitting on top. So I'm actually going to turn this around, and I'm going to do this other end. And this won't take as long because the tool is already hot. So it will go pretty quickly. If your paper starts to warp, you might also want to run the embossing tool over the back of the paper, and that will help to flatten it out. Here we go. Has anybody in this group ever not done any embossing. And there's no judgment. Please don't be afraid to say you've never done embossing. Embossing is a lot of fun. All right, there we go. Oh, no, you got yourself with the hot glue gun. That's not good, Ellen. I hope you're okay. Did you put some ice on it? Yes, I love the choices in this kit too. I love that they're really like, you don't even, I don't even need to hold them once you've got them on the paper. It just looks after itself. So it's really, really great. Oh, don't be scared to use a hot glue gun, Leslie. They are hot and you just need to be really careful, but gee, they do a good job. Not carded out? No. That's good. So, oh, good. Good to hear. Glad to hear. The best part of stamping, do you mean embossing? Karen, you think embossing is the best part of stamping? All right, let's have a little look now at what we've got here. You can see my paper has warped slightly, but I'm not worried about that. When I glue it down, you will never know. So I'm not worried. If it was my base card, I would also run my heat tool over the back of it and flatten it out a little bit more. Or, you can also leave it overnight with something heavy on top and it will also flatten out. But just to bear in mind, if you're gluing it down, it's not going to matter. All right, so what I want to do now, let me just find, I've got some Blackberry Bliss. And I'm going to grab some sponge daubers. And I've got a purpley one here. So this one will do. And I'm going to add some colour with sponge daubers to my embossed images. Now, if I had more time tonight, I might do the whitewashing technique. Some of you have seen this before. Whitewashing is where we use white ink and an aqua painter, and we go over the whole image. So I would do the whole flower with my white ink and water painter, and I would do it several times to build up enough color so that my white and the embossing resists the ink, so you still have the lines from the embossing, but then the rest of the flower is covered white. Oh, maybe we should do that. I was just going to add some blackberry to the center because that would look really nice as well, but now I'm talking about it, I'm tempted to use the white, and I know I'm going to go over time. I think I'm already over the time. I am. Oh well, I'm sorry guys. Oh well. All right, so to use this, one of my favorite things is to get a block, and I'm going to go into my white ink, right? And I've got white ink now on my block, and then I'm going to grab an aqua painter. Let me just find one that I want to use. You can use a fine aqua painter, so this one's a fine one. This one is these are both fine, or a medium. You can use either. I'm just going to make sure that I've got one that's got water running through. This one hasn't got any water in it. Let me just have a quick look. I wasn't going to do this, so I'm not prepared. That's okay. This one might be good. Here we go. This one's got water running through. All right, so I want to just wet the end, but I don't want it to be dripping. I just want it to be damp. And I'm going to pick up my white ink straight from the block, and I'm going to paint over my flower. Now, when I do this, like I said, the gold embossing is going to resist. So you're not going to lose your lines or your line drawing. You're going to keep all that, but the flower is going to end up white. And we may have to do a couple of layers because, and it's a wonderful technique. I did it a few years ago with the Magnolia. Remember the Good Morning Magnolia set? Funny enough, this set, okay, the reason I have it here is I had a customer just purchase it, and I've got it sitting to the side of my desk because she was wanting to buy it. So it's sitting right there, but that's the set that I did originally do the whitewashing technique with. And it was kind of an experiment that I did. I was just playing around with white ink and thinking, well, what else can I do with it? And I thought, can I use my water painters with it? And sure enough, you sure can. And it's really lovely. I like coming up with new techniques sometimes. I mean, very often I borrow other people's ideas, other techniques I've seen people do, but it's really exciting when you come up with your own. There's only a couple of times I've done that. I did it as well when we did the Galaxy shaving cream technique. That was fun. And my husband and I came up with that one. He happened to, I was about to throw something out one night. He said, oh, don't throw it out. See what you can do with that. And sure enough, we ended up doing something amazing with it. There's a video. If you want to search for the Galaxy shaving cream technique, it'll come up. You'll be able to watch that one. All right, so hopefully you can see that we're getting a white flower. And I could keep building up the layers on this and get it really white. And when it dries slightly, I'll put a little bit of water. It dries slightly lighter. So it does, that's why you need the extra layers, because, and the more water you're adding, the lighter it is going to dry, which sometimes is what you want. You just want it really soft and delicate. But you can see I can be really rough with this because that embossing resists the ink and the water, and so it means that you don't have to be particular. You can, as long as you stay inside the outside lines, you can go crazy in the middle. So I'm sorry if I'm missing comments. I'm so engrossed in what I'm doing tonight. I'm not really looking at comments very much, and I may have to go back and read them later. I'm so sorry if I'm missing anything or if I've missed any questions. If I've missed any questions, ask them again. Hey, Judy, I spoke about you before. I was saying how you like the Embossing Editions kit. And you thought it was a good thing because I just used it. So your name came up. All right. I'm just gonna call this done because I don't want to be here all night, but you can do as many layers as you like and really start to get, and it's nice just like that, just the white with the gold. You could do the leaves as well if you wanted to, although what I did when I did my magnolias, I just did the flowers and then I colored the leaves with ink, not with the white, and I thought that looked really nice. So what I'm going to do now, and this is almost dry, I'll do this one first. And let's see how we go. I'm going to start here in the middle. I'm going to add a bit of color to this. And I'm going to work my way out, and I'm almost go to the edges. So it's still going to be kind of whitish around the edges. We can add a bit more depth in the middle if we want to. Now, if you want to be more precise than a sponge dauber, it will take you a little longer, but you could use you know, a water painter. You could use other tools as well. You could use your watercolor pencils. That would look nice. Okay, can you kind of see how that's looking? Now, it's losing a little bit. When I hold it up, you can sort of see the embossing. That looks better. Can you see that, how that's looking now? Yeah, you can use re-inker as well. That's a good idea as well. I've done that, but I can't, just find this is quick and easy. But yep, you certainly can use the re-inker. So I'm just kind of going gentle with it. Now, when I've added as much color as I want to add, okay, just say that's enough. And it doesn't, you need to hold it in the light to get the true effect of it. It's kind of hard to see in this light. But then what I like to do is I like to grab a soft cloth. I'm wondering, do I have one here right now? Because I wasn't planning on doing that. Oh, let's just use a sponge. How about that? And go over and get rid of any excess ink that might be sitting on top of the embossing. And that's going to tone the color down a little bit, but also make the embossing stand out a bit more. Okay, does that kind of make sense what we're doing? It's hard to see though when it's on the table, but yeah. And then what you can do is add other colors. Now, a really good color with this is Mossy Meadow for your leaves. And do we want to do that with a dauber? I'm deciding whether daubers are the go or whether I want to add a different, do it with something different. Like I could do it with a blender pen. That might be better. Just seeing if I've got, so this one's been used for white before. Can you see that? I don't want to use that one. I want to use one that's clean. Okay, this one will be good. All right, so once again, I could use a re-inker, or I can go into the ink pad, or I can use it on a block. The blocks are probably the easiest. And then we're going to add some color here. Now I want this to get lighter as I go, so I'm just going to get a little bit of color off it, and then go back in. It's a bit lighter around the edges. And then this one, I'll color that one as well, but I'll do that later. I just wanted to show you guys how this works. All right, so then you've got your green. It's hard to see in this light. It's really pretty when the light is better. But I will have a little play with this, and I'm going to finish this card later in my own time. This is better. Now, if you do have too much color, you can always go back in and wipe over it. Get rid of some of the color. Like I can wipe this off, and also I can wipe it with a soft cloth and get some of that off, and it'll also come off the embossing. So here you go. Because it sits on the embossing, and you don't want it to do that necessarily. There we go. Okay, so I hope that's kind of giving you an idea. I'm not going to finish this one tonight, but I then would put something, you know, to one side. Maybe one of those beautiful new stamps, you know, not thank you, but, you know, I could do something like that here on the side. Or I could put it on a piece of white with a bit of vellum or something like that. So there we go. Did everyone, you might remember last weekend was the craft along, and craft along went really well. I think everyone loved it. I've had some great reports back, but with craft along, you can still buy the tutorials if you like those, and they're on my blog. So head over there to the blog, and if you're wanting to place an order through the online store, you do that through the blog as well. And I'll also put the description down in the description below. I'll put the link down there as well. But I'm hoping that everything that you've seen tonight, you realize is available for purchase. And if there's anything I can help you with, if you have any questions about any of the techniques or anything else, please just sing out, because I love to show you guys techniques, and that's kind of what I live for here on a Friday night. So there you go. There's a card we actually finished. One we didn't quite finish because it takes too long. And then there's a sample. So there you go. Some nice little things that we've been working on tonight. You're very welcome, guys. I hope, oh yeah, paper towel's good. Good point, Ellen. That's paper towel to rub this and make sure that it's not sitting on top of your embossing. That also looks really good. But actually, to be honest, even though I like this color, I think maybe it looked better before I added the blackberry. I liked it with just the white, and I might go back to that. Oh, I hope that was great. Can you have a loan? Oh, how can yeah, well, what kind of loan? Are you talking about a loan of stamps, Cherie? Because if you're after a loan of money, that could be an issue. That could be a problem. Oh, you're very welcome. And thank you, everyone who ordered in January. You will be getting your supply packs for the next craft along, and they'll come out mid-month. So that's going to be vellum techniques that we're doing this time. So I'm looking forward. The craft along will be the last Saturday in February. So so the supplies will be with you before then. And thankfully, thanks to all of you guys for placing your orders, I'm sending out more this time. So that's exciting. So you'll see me. I'll have photos up of what's going on with some of that towards the middle of the month. Okay. Oh, I know. So many beautiful things to play with. You are absolutely 2K. Yeah. I'm actually thinking I need to sell some of my I've decided to sell some of my retired stock on eBay and just see how it goes. I'm not even going to worry about it. It can go out for next to nothing, or it can go out for lots. I don't really mind, but I need to get rid of it out of my craft room. So that's my next project, I think. All right, you guys, have a fantastic weekend, whatever you're doing. If anyone has questions about anything I've said tonight, don't forget when you're placing your orders to think about your re-inkers, okay? You want to get those before those items retire. And once April comes along and they announce, or it might be the end of March, once they announce the retired list, they're going to go really fast. So, and I'm not even joking. They just do every year. All right. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll be back and see you on Sunday night. Thank you, guys. See ya. Bye.